All right, guys, so part 3 of the handstand push-up series. We're going to look at the strict handstand push-up today. Now, this is obviously the best strict strength movement you can do to build your strength for your keeping handstand push-ups. There's other ones that are close to that, such as the pike push-up off the box. But if you want to build raw strength for your handstand push-ups, obviously nothing will be better than being actually upside down and working on that strict strength, especially if you start to manipulate it as well and start doing things like eccentrics, so slow tempo on the way down, dead stops, where you're literally stopping dead and then pressing back out. But I'm going to show you what we're looking for if we were doing strict handstand push-ups in a workout, because we want to be making sure that we are learning how to rebound reps. Okay. Now, this obviously comes with an element of control, so you are required to have a good amount of strength. What we don't want is for us to just be like falling down, hurting our necks, hurting our heads, and then trying to bounce back up. There still needs that element of control, even though it looks like I'm just bouncing my head off, as I'll show you in a minute. There still is that control. I'm still working through the whole range of motion. I'm just letting myself fall and then pressing back out. This is a real key, because some people just like do it quite fast and get stuck at the bottom because they've not learned how to rebound properly. So the best way to describe it is, imagine you doing strict press in a workout, or like doing strict presses in a set, and you come down under control still, but then you get to the shoulders, you rebound off nice and fast and press through. Okay, it's the exact same thing as that. Without, you wouldn't be at the top of a strict press and just drop it down, because you will lose the moment where you can then rebound it back up. It would obviously just come crashing. Same with this, it still needs that element of control, as I've said about 1,000,000 times already in the last, 60 seconds. So, hand position can be slightly wider than your normal keeping handstand push-ups. Again, we don't want to get too wide. We don't want to start practicing going to the point where we're like this and we're literally not having to use any range of motion, simply because if it comes up in the open or anything like that, then we'll be able to practice with it. I generally just try and keep my hands very similar to what I would do for normal keeping handstand push-ups. So I'm still thinking about my thumbs facing the wall, still thinking about the fingers pointing out. Now, the key is when we get into that handstand hold position where we're squeezing our ass and we're locking our ribs down, we are going to maintain that. Whereas on a keeping handstand push-up, we obviously allow our ass to come back at the bottom position. We're not going to allow that to happen. So we're going to think about locking the ribs down and squeezing the ass the whole time. Okay? So, handstand hold first. From here, squeezing my ass, head through. From here, under control, coming down, rebounding back up. Coming down, rebounding back up. So the key is learning that control and then rebounding that rep straight back up. As I said, manipulate the tempo for strength purposes when you're using eccentrics and dead stops. But in a workout, we want to really focus on bouncing straight back out that rep as soon as the head touches the mat. Really important point as well, obviously scale the reps down. Don't start a strict handstand what you do in a kipping, because you're probably not going to have the strict strength to do it. All right, and if you do, if you're doing the same scale, then your kipping should be better at a better scale. So if you're doing a mat for both, you should be close to RX on your kipping. You're just failing somewhere when it comes to your kipping. Yeah? But as I said, don't be afraid to scale it down a little bit so there's less range of motion, and get used to the head going right into the mat. See people come down, let it just kind of brush, stop themselves and press back out. It's just making it far more difficult. Learn to rebound the head off the mat. Hope this helps.